Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here.
It's Monday, the 1st of September, and, as you're all probably aware, the new season of With Love Meghan was released last week. So, like before, I'm going to be sitting down and telling you all about it with a little bit of fun, a little bit of jibes, jesting, and ultimately just ripping it, because we all know that's what you want to hear. I take one for the team, so you don't have to. And if reviews are led to be believed, it is even worse than the first season. Now, before I start the first episode, I do just want to say there is a massive difference between this season's drop and the previous season's drop. When it first aired, it got into the top 10 worldwide. It didn't last very long. It lasted for about 3 weeks in the top 10 of Netflix, and then it tapered down. And we all know, like I said in my previous video, if you haven't watched that, click up in the link in the right hand corner, that it didn't even make the top 300 Netflix shows in the second half of last year, which is quite considerably a big doozy. But of course, we know that it was filmed back to back, and if it wasn't for that fact, I honestly don't think that they would have filmed a second season. But interestingly enough, it's not in the top 10. Wasn't even in the top 10 on the day of release. And that is quite telling. So let's get on with it, shall we? This is season 2, episode 1, and it is titled A Sweet and Savoury Adventure. And funnily enough, Daniel Martin's back. Oh, did so well in the last season that he's been wheeled out again just, to say, I've got friends, my best friend is here. And he's there with, they invite Chef David Chang and Christina Torsi over for flower arranging and an improvised feast. Oh, can't wait, can you? Right off the bat, it's just the same old, isn't it? It is the music and it is beautiful coastlines, pictures of California, and look where I live, isn't it? Fantastic. Only you wish that you could aspire to have my amazing life. Ultimately, that's exactly what this TV show is all about. It's not showing how authentic Meghan is. It's ultimately saying, no, look at my life. Now, I'm going to do it slightly different this time. With the previous season, when I did each episode back to back, I went in great detail, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think my stomach could handle it. So rather than going into every little bit of detail, I'm just going to give you a synopsis, because I don't think you can take it. I don't think I can take it. My fragile emotions can't take it either, because quite frankly, we've all had enough of this nonsense. We're back in the rented cottage because she can't possibly show where she lives, so she had to hire somewhere out. Daniel's there, everybody. Daniel's there, and yay, new friends, they say. Daniel says, it's like a first date. Honestly, Daniel, if you think that meeting friends in Meghan's rented, so friends, I say they're not new friends, that I've met these people. If you think that meeting people in Meghan's rented gaff is like a first date, seriously, mate, you need to get out a bit more. Oh, double date, they exclaim. Well, that just means that they both need to get out a bit more, don't they? Today's menu, they're making an easy caramel tart. And Meghan exclaims that everybody should have puff pastry in their freezer. I mean, yeah, but I'd rather have vodka. They start chopping white onions. They say that David and Christina are great friends, much like us. She chimes in to Daniel. They could be, the four of us could be like a great alchemy. What are you talking about, love? They start caramelising the onions. They use butter, garlic, thyme. Meghan says that they're going to use some Gruyere cheese. Actually, do you know what? I love Gruyere cheese. Oh, I love Gruyere cheese. I always put it in my quiches because it just... And I'm going to say this because it's one of Meghan Markle's favourite words. It elevates the dish. No, it just tastes really yummy, Meghan. It doesn't need to elevate anything. They add balsamic vinegar to the caramelised onion gloop. Of course, Meghan's dog Guy is still living. It's a miracle, everybody. No, it's not a miracle. It was just filmed before the dog died, both seasons. They pop the caramelised onion gloop with the Gruyere cheese onto some egg-washed puff pastries, fold them up, and that's effectively it. It gets roasted. Can we please now guess, I'd like a little competition going, how many times edible flowers is going to be added to any dish in this series? I reckon it's going to be about Oh, hang on a minute. There are 8 episodes in this season. I reckon they're going to make an appearance every single episode. So I'm going to hedge my bets on 9 because I think we're going to have them twice in one episode. So I reckon 9 appearances of edible flowers in the entire season. I'm going to keep a tally, everybody. Okay, so just a fun thing to do to make this interesting because, quite frankly, it's boring as watching paint dry. They pop them in the oven and then they say, "Let's get ready for our friends." You just said that they weren't your friends. Are they your friends or are they? I mean, this is Meghan. So the love bombing has already started and they're not even in the room. There's this hilarious moment that when they're preparing for their new friends to come round, how excited. Daniel then starts kind of dabbing up Meghan's makeup and it's so bloody forced. And then she starts powdering him. Maybe I should look away. David and Christina are here, everybody. Yay! Friends! Special friends! Meghan cracks open the coffee, because that's what we learnt from the last season, is that she likes to offer her guests coffee. Who'd have thought it? You offer your guests a beverage when they arrive at your, or not your gaff, because she's rented it. David and Christina talk about how they met, blah, 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 and then, of course, the contracted questions come out that Christina goes, "How about you two?" to Meghan and Daniel, and the spiel comes out about how they met. We all know it. For goodness sake, we don't have to keep going over old ground, do we? They giggle at the Meghan's, Daniel's seen her go through lots of chapters and she makes this kind of weird eye as if to say, if you know, you know. Yeah, we all know, Meghan, because you won't stop talking about it. Meghan harps on about her chickens and how she has silkies and the fact that they lay little eggs and they're going to fry some of those up and put them on the tartlets. What? That's a weird combination. They fry the eggs and she says, you can see they're really cute. I mean, it just looks like a normal size egg to me. It really does. I mean, maybe American eggs are bigger than UK eggs, but to me that looks like a normal size egg that I can get in any supermarket. Daniel teaches them a trick if you want the bottom side crispy but the roke yummy, that you turn, once the eggs are nearly cooked, you turn it off and put a plate on top to steam them. I've been doing that for years. It's not new and it's not revolutionary. But also, my tip would be you put a tiny bit of water in there before you put the top on. Steams even more. You don't need that much oil. Christina asks, what are we going to do? And Meghan says, we're going to keep you in your comfort zone and out of your comfort zone. So we're going to do flower arranging. Yay! More flower arranging. Then they're going to come back to the kitchen and they're going to show Meghan some of their expertise. Got to sing for your supper, haven't you? And the first absolutely doozy of this season is when David says, "I don't know whether you two are competitive," and Meghan says, "No, I'm not." I had to thumb my desk then. Meghan, you are so competitive. Oh my God, you just barefaced lied to everybody. She gives them gifts. She says to Christina that she knows that you love scarves, so she decided to make some. Yep, she's made scarves. My head is already frazzled. So anyway, we jump back to Meghan making cigars. I've lost my mind completely already and we're not even in 20 minutes. We're water marbling. Do you know what? With her scrawly writing that comes up, I couldn't actually read the word marbling. I was kind of looking at it going, what does that say? It wasn't until she went, "Oh, we're doing water marbling." I went, oh, it reads marbling. Do you know what? It's just boring twaffle. It really, really is. She's doing some marbling on some silk scarves and it's just her going, "Look what I can do, look what I can do." It's a very little substance. And to be honest, who is exactly going to go, "Oh, that's such a lovely idea"? And they really do look primary. They look childlike. It's not elegant. It's not pretty. It's weird. So they both get scarves, one for Christina for her head because she wears headscarves, and a pocket square for David because, he's really going to wear that again, isn't he? So they're flower arranging and then Meghan demands that they're going to show her how to make graham crackers. They're going to make homemade marshmallows because she wants to do s'mores. They go outside in the garden and of course they've made an absolute flower mart for them because Netflix money. Meghan is in her absolute element, telling everybody what they need to do. She really does shine in this moment of being bossy. The most hilarious moment, she clasps her hands to her head and said, "Is this so wild that I do flower arranging and calligraphy?" Make it all about yourself again, Meghan. Yeah, me. And that's all because David had said that samurais used to do for floral arranging and calligraphy to help with their focus. And of course, Meghan makes it all about herself again. When they're done making the flowers, of course they have to judge who's the best. Who do you think won, everybody? Gosh, who do you think everybody claimed to be the best flower arranger? Of course, everybody proclaimed it was Meghan. Shock horror. Time for a sweet treat, everybody. Everybody needs a sweet treat. And here is the epitome of contracted talk. They talk about what makes a good s'more. And then, of course, Meghan proclaims, well, I made a chocolate bark. Of course you did, Meghan. Of course you did. So they start to make the graham cracker, and Meghan proclaims, remember when she said that she wasn't competitive? She announces that she's just been out to tweak her flower arrangement. Even though she won, she's tweaked it even more. Daniel is absolutely gobsmacked. He cannot comprehend that Christina says that her s'mores, she puts peanut butter in, so it's like a peanut butter cup. Honestly, Daniel loses his mind at this. I mean, he really seems to have lived a sheltered life, doesn't he? Something I've never had. I've never had a s'more. Never in my life. Shut the front door, people. Shut the front door. The flower sprinkles have made their first appearance. Cha-ching! Ding, ding, ding! That is number 1. Mark that down on the tally. Because she's made chocolate box. She's made 2 chocolate box. She's made white chocolate with edible flowers. And then there's some more where she says has 14 in it. With pretzels and coconut and blah, blah, blah. And of course she's made a third one which has got some crisps, chips in it, I think. Americans call it. We call them crisps. Rice Krispies and some wafer layered cookies. Time to make the marshmallows now. And you can so tell that this... I swear that there are branded products in this, because things like the knives and the KitchenAid, they get zoomed in and the KitchenAid is perfectly framed where it says KitchenAid. But this isn't any old marshmallow, it's turmeric and vanilla bean, everybody. Turmeric and vanilla bean. I mean, each to their own, but... So while the marshmallows are setting, Meghan takes David out into the garden. And this is how forced it is. David says, this is why you leave New York City, so you can have something like this. I mean, yeah, Meghan's rented it. It's not her garden, but hey. They pick some harvests from the garden, sugar snap peas and chives, and it's almost like Disney-esque portrayal of look how fabulous my life is. So they're going to do the savoury element of their sweet and savoury day. So they just basically chop up a load of veggies and they're going to marinate some steak, have it with some sugar snap peas and salad and some flatbread. There's some weird jaunty music going on in the background and they're all running around doing all this and it's chaos. So they prepare it all and then they go outside and cook the flank steak on the barbecue. I say they, it's actually just Daniel and David that go out and do this. And I think that is actually tapping into some very strange stereotypical roles that the men do the barbecue and the women do the salad. And that doesn't sit right for me. Maybe I'm just being a bit picky. I don't know, but I don't like to conform to the normal stereotypical ways of a household. Clink, clink, it's time to raise the glasses and let's eat. They all eat standing up in the kitchen, which I find quite weird. Sit down, enjoy yourselves. What's the rush? Time for their sweet treat, as Meghan keeps saying. It's s'mores. I can't say it right. Sorry, s'mores. It's obviously a lot later in the day because it's dark and they've got a fire pit roaring. The continuity, not so great in this episode. Hilarity ensues. I say that because it's false hilarity. They're all laughing and joking and trying to roast the marshmallows and they're going everywhere. Isn't it fantastic? That's the end of the episode. Honestly, still as bad as it ever was. I can see why it's getting panned by reviews, basically saying it's dull, monotonous, and just painful seems to be the most repeated word over all of the reviews on this. The Telegraph said more tone deafness from the Montecito Mary Antoinette. Well, I think that is beautiful. So that's season 2, episode 1 done. And I'll be back with the next episode. Wish me luck, guys. I'm going in. Will we be able to knock on another tally point for the edible sprinkles? Will Meghan stop bragging? I doubt it very, very much. And will we see a crudité platter this time? So exciting, isn't it? As always, I'd love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.